PSA, these site setups are bad. They're only good for extended holds, which we see in Pro League, but are generally never done in champ rank. These are also incredibly easy to counter with Ashe, Flores, Buck, etc., making the objective an easy take. Here's said strats. Now, would you or would you not think that these are default strats? Well, in my personal opinion, as someone who's been playing the game since year one, and has seen the meta continuously grow, change in terms of site setups. For example, you used to have people not making head holes here. You would just reinforce it off and then fight from janitor and have somebody roaming bottom square. But it's the complete opposite, actually. Because the game has progressed so much that these are now default holds. And a lot of the times, default holds stem from Pro League strats. Macie Jay's argument basically is that people in champ lobbies in solo queue are not doing these basic site setups or not playing around it, which is very fair and valid. But I feel like with Macie Jay's impact that he has on Siege and his community and the average player base, he has a lot of eyes on him. And I feel like the last thing he should be doing is really swaying his... By the way, is he using barb on smoke? Whatever. Is swaying his, teammates or swaying his viewer base away from understanding the game at a more progressive level. Of course, you're going to get dumbasses that just don't play the objective, because we are in a meta that's very idiotic. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to explain thoroughly why you should do each one of these holes, their purpose, and how you should go about attacking and defending it. Because honestly, I feel like that's what he should have done instead of just making a tweet saying don't do these, because when you solo queue and people don't play around it. Anything, by the way, is incredibly easy to counter in Siege. That's the great thing about Siege personally, is you have so many operators that counteract the other, and it's really about who can use the operator better, or who can waste time the best on defense and then attack, who can use their utility with their teammates the best to counteract the defender. So I just hate this argument. Personally, when I replied saying in this day and age, since Siege has advanced so much, where extending is default so the attackers don't take map control easy, you waste so much time doing these. Now, sure, maybe if you're solo queuing with no comms, that's valid, but overall I disagree. I just don't like the solo queue, fact. And everybody is basically telling him the same thing. Roy really just came out of nowhere with these silly Chachanka castle strats. Macie Jay is getting a lot of backlash. I do understand his point of view in terms of not wanting to deal with stupid teammates, because they're so idiotic. We are in a meta right now where it's honestly as stupid as ever for some reason. Like, people do not know how to play the game anymore, and that's what it seems to be. And it really does suck, because like you have to almost adjust to the jackass playstyle. So once again, that's why I'm making this video, so I can actually explain to you guys, because there has been an influx of new player base. And the issue is, in my opinion, is that the champs that's getting champ now, it's all like a participation award, and it's from rank 2.0. Rank 2.0, it was a huge L in my opinion. The concept was cool, but the balancing in terms of the distribution of ranked isn't valid in my personal opinion. Like, you literally have people that's been like hard stuck plat since the game came out, hitting champion. And that's my issue with this, because that's probably who Macie's getting on his team, is these weirdos that have never been in this like champ lobby. So they probably don't understand the fundamentals of Siege, which is okay. It's not their fault at this point. It's it's just what it is, man. Okay, so we're on Chalet right now. So on upstairs master, the hold that he's talking about was, you reinforce the master office, the office walls, like the main two, so they can't, open up lines of sight and have so many lines of sight. And right here, you reinforce. Now, did he do feet holes or head holes? I'm pretty sure he did head holes, if I'm not mistaken. He did. Okay. So, head holes here. And usually you have a rotate into closet. This should be very obvious, and the reason why I'm even explaining this is because when I was playing on Xbox recently, nobody made rotates, and I had a mute Mira Frost. What is that about? You make head holes here. This is depending on the team. So I like to do head holes just because, you know, I can peek if needed, be aggressive, and help anybody that's in, you know, bathroom. Or you can also do feet holes and then not do head holes. And then anytime somebody goes up solar stairs, or I mean trophy stairs, you'll have to, like, it's easy picks because you can literally hold it from so far back, and they're literally having to come into this angle. But yeah, that's the hold that I do. Now, how you play around this is depending on your team once again, but how you should play around this is if you have somebody bandit tricking the wall, or, you know, whatever. Like, I don't really like the bandit trick on this wall at all because, you know, you can just get grenaded from below. I place a Cade Claw right there, and then I place a Cade Claw right here, and then you should usually extend out. Now, the way you extend out is really up to you, to be honest. So I've seen teams where they reinforce this library wall just so they don't get wall banged, or they reinforce this one as well. And then they basically just hold for library, try to fight for it, and then you have another person around bar area making sure that they don't crouch walk up bottom snowmobile and then come up fireplace stairs. And, you know, there's so much you can do. There's endless possibilities. But the current issue is what happens, I'm assuming, in Macie Jay's game, because he didn't really give a example, because it probably just happened so much that he's just used to, like, the stupidity of the randoms that play this game. They probably just pick Alibi and Oryx and then go roam. I'm assuming what happens is they make the head hole, and then, you know, everybody just roams, or nobody even plays in the site. Nobody makes rotates, nobody does anything, and they probably just all roam and bait. So what probably happens is when he's solo queuing, he gets a enemy team of 5-stack champs who know how to attack this, know how to counteract it, and they probably take early map control, either going direct fireplace, and they just open up the wall and have somebody on piano window, have somebody take library hall, or a piano high main very quickly, because it is easy to counteract a strat when you're not playing around the strat. So you should be honestly fighting and making sure and wasting time and shooting drones over on library side. Have somebody, like I said, top fireplace, maybe even lurking around bar area, just, you know, shooting drones and wasting as much time as possible. And then if you waste all that utility that, you know, they use trying to drone you guys out and you know, get you guys cleared, you guys can back up and play the angles, because now, once again, you have this angle that counteracts them swinging piano. So now if they try to swing piano, they have to peek into so many different angles. They have to make sure nobody's on close reinforcement. They have to make sure nobody's on half wall. They have to make sure nobody's off his desk, or even on the rotate if you're making the rotate there, or like any type of lines of sight there. And then they have to worry about swinging wide into any, like, the book hall, and then the piano, and then close. So there's so many angles that they have to worry about, versus let's reinforce it. Imagine you're an attacker right now who takes library control. You guys go take fireplace, library, you guys cleared all the people trying to contest you, and now you're free to get this wall. You have either, like, you know, you have somebody dead, so you probably just have a cam for down here so nobody can go walk up snowmobile stairs, or you just have a body watching it. You guys are free to open up this wall, which is the default fireplace wall. You have somebody go outside K9, and then you guys are cutting off all their rotation because you have one outside K9, so you can contest anybody trying to be aggressive, especially if they have the rotation right here, by the way. Personally, I like this rotation more, but that's personally just me, because of course you have the ability to rotate, but once again, you get shot from piano and then you get shot from big window. But if you have the rotate here, you only have to really worry about big window and then, you know, K9. So it depends on the angle that you like. So it's really up to you what you want to do. It's either I make rotation here and then I make some throwable head holes here. But anyways, so yeah, you have somebody K9 cutting off all these angles, pressuring the, you know, the enemies. You have, you know, your guy outside fireplace, breach, watching the guy that's about to plant. So that's 3 people. You can, if you do have 5 up, you can get to go, you get 1 to go up big, and then 1 piano hall or 2 piano hall, or one outside balcony, and then you guys are pressuring the entire map. You know how impossible it feels to retake as a defender because you're getting pushed back so much from all the utility, everything that's happening. So just not making this head hole just caused that. Anybody that knows how to attack it. Do you see my point? Like, how are you guys supposed to defend this when, like, you're basically playing like it's year one secure area? That's my problem, is like we're almost going back in time. It's like our player base is getting dumber and dumber because of the new influx of player base, the champ 2.0, and the way that they're balancing operators is just silly. They rather give operators 1.5 times scope. By the way, operators that have almost near no utility. Of course, you have an operator like Orcs, which is cool, but people are only using them for his T5. The amount of people I've seen use just Orcs for the T5 and not make any rotates, not put down any beepers or like a stack of barb is insane. Okay, so the head holes he's talking about are the attic head holes. This is a very common, you know, pressure point nowadays on PC at least. I don't know really much about console. I have actually seen console players using this strat. So I'm assuming what happens in Macie Jay's game is he's saying that nobody plays this angle, nobody's extended into trophy or top armory, and that is probably the issue. You probably have everybody bunkering down, and I do agree, if you don't have anybody playing these head holes and nobody extending into trophy, you literally just allow the attackers to take all this map control early on and then have pressure points for anybody trying to rotate around sites or to relocate if they're getting grenaded from below. That's very valid and makes sense. This is what you should be doing. When you make these head holes, you can play a number of operators. It's up to you. Anybody, you just got to place a body around the attic area just so you guys can pressure the person that's top armory or trying to take early, you know, trophy room control. You should also maybe place somebody around trophy. You can do unlimited possibilities of things. You can have a shield in trophy that's contesting anybody from master, and if they try to take master, they now have to waste utility to clear the shield, or they have to throw a body up armory, and by then they're going to be wasting so much time trying to drone you out. You end up just getting pushed back into Bolo, which is right here, and then you have somebody just playing the head holes to, you know, support the guy right there. Like, so many cross angles, it's gonna be so hard for the attackers to do anything, and once again you're gonna be wasting time. Notice how I'm emphasizing wasting time. That is your main objective as a defender, to deny them map control and then waste time so they can't get an easy plants off. It's not to get all 5 kills. If you can get all 5 kills, that's lovely, that's amazing, but at the end of the day, your main objective is to waste time as a defender so they don't establish map control, so they can't get a plant down, so they can't open up walls, so they can't have a good easy attack execute. So yeah, basically you have to extend out. You can have somebody maybe playing armory. I've seen many strats where, you know, people put head holes into master and armory over here with the head holes over there in attic. This is fantastic because, you know, they have to do so much to try to clear you out, especially if they try to go below and, you know, go in garage and nade you out or whatever. They're going to be wasting utility, and you could have a teammate maybe lurking around Zulu hall / classroom / meeting. You have endless possibilities of things that you couldn't do. This is why I love Siege. This is why I'm saying you shouldn't limit extensions, because, like, you don't even need to do this you know, armory control. You can literally just do a trophy hold with like mute jammers or something and barbed wire on main, and just make sure, you know, they're not taking early control. I've even seen players in champ lobbies, you know, contest, you know, the main wall with long angles from big window. Like, there's so much you can do. So yes, please do these head holes, like, I would say 90% of the time. Out of all the head holes that he's shown, I would say that, in my personal opinion, the organ head holes aren't really needed, but I would prefer them more than anything, to be honest, because you can just capitalize the attackers to have to readjust the way that they attack. Onto the most brain dead ranked map, which is Canal. So you make feet holes here, you reinforce all of the rest of, you know, the main wall, And from here, the main objective is to place a body on top red. I've seen people do numbers of different types of shield placement. I'm just going to do a rough shield just to place it down for the example. The great thing about this is, for example, if you have a Kate or something and they can't get main wall and they're readjusting to a 90, you know, green 90, red staircase, green staircase take, you have so many different crosses now. So you can have somebody here in the box area worrying about the hallway. Technically, you do have a little bit of cover here if you have a shield here, and that makes sure they can't just run into red. That's cool. Not only that, though, it's also good that you don't allow them to take so much space early on into the round. So a very common take is people just go for this front wall, and then they have, you know, maybe somebody lurking up red, or, you know, somebody trying to be cheeky going printer. It really depends on like the amount of communication a team has, but something that's universal is going for this main wall. So going for this main wall, you usually, if you reinforce this completely, you now give the person on attack one less angle to worry about, and it's going to make it easier to pressure the guy off red and to pinch this guy on red. That's why I think that take was so bad when it came to Canal, especially because the guy top red's like screwed. Like, if somebody's going bottom red or model side and coming up red, and then you have somebody pinching from box, like, what the hell? Like, you're like, why? So basically, yeah, like, this one angle will do you wonders, because not only can you watch anybody walking in, but I'm just going to shoot this open for an example. You can hold a long angle or like this common angle. So anybody trying to take cover when they get the breach open, you can try to pre-fire it and just pressure them off and maybe even get a kill or do damage, which is amazing. So please always do this feat hole. Never not do this feat hole, because then they can just take box control. They can clear the guy red. It also frees them up from, you know, worrying about one more angle. So that's why I think that one especially is very silly. Okay, I believe this is the last one. We're going on CEO, and this is bank. This is one of those that I would say you have to do almost all the time, and I'm gonna explain why. So I'm not gonna show you the entire site setup. I should really do a entire every defending map, how to play every map again, because that video did amazing, and you know, it seems like we have an influx of players again that just started playing. So you do this head hole for top square. Now ask yourself, why do you do it? And I feel like this is the problem with a lot of players, is they're not asking why. They watch pro league players, they watch content creators streams at higher ranks, and they basically just copy it and then they go run away, and that's it. That's the issue here. So when you're attacking top square, ask yourself, how do you attack top square for CEO? What's usually the two different attacking strategies? You have one, going for top square main walls, which is totally valid, makes sense. You want to open up these walls, you get tons of lines of sight, and it's easy. You get so many, you know, cutoffs. Other side is going for a lobby take, which doesn't need to be explained right now because we're not talking about that. Sorry about that, Jan. Okay. So when you reinforce this wall off, this limits, once again, an angle that they have to worry about as an attacker. You reinforce this off. Okay, we have top square. Maybe have a cam for bottom square, or have a body bottom square. Maybe just waiting for any flanks or C4s. And immediately, now we only have to worry about stock and janitor. The good thing about that for the attackers then is they can place a body outside stock and pressure whomever is in stock. Now, if they get early stock control then and push any defenders back, the person that's in janitor is not able to swing to try to kill anybody that's top square. They might be able to if, you know, you just potato or whatever, but that's cool. And then from there, you guys have main hallway control, and then you can pressure the guy E3. From there, you guys have so much early map control. Just there, just because of the head holes is not made. So how you should be playing around it is, once again, maybe place a body in sight that can actually watch the top square. If you get the audio, if you get the sound call or whatever, that's their outside top square. make sure you have a body in janitor. Now, if you're going to play janitor, guys, make sure you reinforce this single wall here, because what tends to happen when I see smoke players or mute players or whoever is they will sit here and they'll just get wallbang from the guy repelling, and that's a big no-no. Also, make sure that you place feet holes here, and the way you defend it is really up to you, but make sure you're actually complementing the strategy instead of just making the holes and then running away and doing your own thing. The whole point of Siege is to play around a strategy. A strat's not going to work if you're just an idiot who wants to run around and with orcs and alibi and think you're that guy. The fun thing about Siege is literally winning just based off strategy and team comms. So in that aspect, I do understand what Macie Jay is trying to say, but in my personal opinion, I think it was the wrong message overall, because we're going to have so many players think that strategy isn't needed in Siege, and we're just going to continue this almost pandemic of idiots playing. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure that you guys like, sub, and comment. Let me know if you guys would like to see in every single like how to defend map video. And you know, because it's been a while since I last did my last one, and the meta has changed so much and so many new maps have came out, so I'll be definitely down to do that if you guys are interested. Anyways, guys, have a lovely day. One love.
Subscribe.